Correct, huh? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just remind, I think sir has joined or not. Hit sir. I'll just join. Sir has joined. Wait for a second. Just we are getting him in, and Amit, I think, has not joined. Yes, I'll just remind Amit. शिवानी वन सेक, आप ना भी एक सेकंड आप कर सकते हैं, अनम्यूट करिए ना प्लीज एक बार। भुजबल सर को नाउ, यस, हित शर्मा सर हैज joined, and Dr. Karisma is here. शिवानी आप एक सेकंड, शिवानी is joining again, I believe. Hi, Sarma sir, good evening.
Hi, Ajit. Can you see me? Am I
Yes, sir. Namaskar, sir.
Not yet, sir. Yes,
अब
now I
अब
can
देख
see
रहे
you,
हैं।
sir. Now we can see you, sir.
Hi. Hello,
Namaste,
Professor
sir.
Rajput.
सर
Namaste, sir.
कैसे है
Thank
सर? हित सर, ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो ऊपर से कैमरा आपके ऊपर आया हुआ है, बहुत ऊपर से।
Actually, मेरे कैमरे की पोजीशन इज I had a camera on my desktop.
Yes.
But वो उठा के उन्होंने they have put a bigger one on the TV.
हाँ,
So वो
correct,
मेरे को
correct,
ऊपर से ऐसे करके देखना पड़ता है अभी.
correct, correct. वो अभी ऐसा लग रहा है हित सर
But
जो है
I don't know
किसी-
why I can't hear you loudly. There's some problem with my speakers.
but we can hear you properly, sir. The only thing is probably some speakers problem must be there.
Maybe, yes. Let me see if I can handle this issue.
Sure, sir, sure.
Yeah, there are almost 50 people in YouTube as well now joined.
Lovely.
So Rajput sir, अगर आदेश होए तो
हाँ, कर सकते हैं सर। सोहन सर कैन बी, और हित
Yes,
सर,
yes, sir. There
तब
are
तक डॉक्टर हित सर अपना वो कैमरा ठीक कर लें, 1-2 मिनट का टाइम है और।
sure. Then let others join also. By the time
Yeah,
that,
yeah, ठीक है,
people
बिल्कुल।
will be joining. Yes. I think Dr. Amita is also joined. Let me. Yes. Dr. Amit, can you see us? Can we see you, Dr. Amit? Can you please speak? Say hi.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Okay, Amit. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
डॉक्टर शिवानी नमस्ते,
Welcome.
गुड इवनिंग। फिर अटक गए शिवानी मैम।
शिवानी मैम के आई थिंक मुझे लग रहा है कि नेटवर्क्स जो है थोड़े से कच्चे पक्के आ रहे हैं अभी, ठीक ठाक नहीं आ रहे हैं। आई थिंक देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद हर। आई एम जस्ट मैसेजिंग हर, शी कैन रिजॉल्व। Can someone from my team will take care of this? Okay, so sir, just an update. We have kept everything on mute, everyone else on mute, because it's a big event. And to avoid the glitches, we have kept everyone on mute and no chat as well. We can open the chat and everything, once it is needed for the question answer. Yes, so that is just an update. And guys, you have to be with us. Everyone will be getting a chance to speak and to talk to our speakers and talk to our faculty members, and you all will have a chance to text and chat and ask the questions. So don't worry about that. सर आप जब भी हो आप बता दीजिएगा प्लीज।
बस हित सर आगे, हित सर पूछ लेते हैं। हित सर, shall we start?
Yes, please, sir. Yes. Please feel free to start. Yes.
Okay,
The
Doctor,
thing is, I'm not
that's
getting
fine.
a proper volume. I can't. You're less audible. So,
Sir, I think it's
all right.
fine now. Sir, I think it's fine now. अमित आप ना आप हाफ एन आवर में ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, कोई इशू नहीं है, आप पहले पहुंच जाइए, आराम से ड्राइव करते हुए मत ज्वाइन करिए, आप हाफ एन आवर में ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, ठीक है डॉक्टर अमित?
Yeah, sure.
ओके,
सर
थैंक यू। यस
सर
यस यस
सरजीत
यस।
मैडम किधर हैं? शी इज गोइंग टू मॉडरेट ना, सरजीत सिद्धू मैडम।
Sarab ma'am, due to
हाँ
some emergency conditions, she is not joining. So I think we have to take care. I have to take
so
care, but
so
that's
so,
okay. We are
so
missing her. Yes,
who is
yes.
going to moderate now?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Okay,
And
good.
we have Dr. Yes, I think we have all the faculty members also. Yeah, we have Dr. Karisma Rathi also to,
Yeah,
for
she
the
is.
vote of thanks and all. We have all
Yeah,
everyone here. Yes, 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 yes.
she is.
Okay, so with all the permissions, thank you very much, sir. So, guys, good evening, and I welcome you all to this wonderful event on the occasion of International Clinical Trial Day, which is being conducted by Dr. D.Y. Patil, Dhyan Prasad University School of Pharmacy and Research, Pimpri, Pune, and Curio Training Research Institute and CliMed Academy. Both are the initiative of CliMed Research Solutions, which is our CRO, and CliMed Academy is dedicated for the medical courses, and CTRI, Curio Training Research Institute, is dedicated for the industrial trainings. So we bring for all of you the event called Global to Local, where we will be talking about navigating the new era of clinical trials with AI and guidelines. So, as you all know, this is completely free, and we have conducted the associated quiz also yesterday in association with the college. So, yesterday, first, let me, you know, declare it very happily that yesterday 785 students participated in the live quiz. Though there were 2000 plus registrations for the quiz, but 785 people have attempted for the quiz, and almost 2% of them achieved 100% marks. And we have our rankers also; those will be declared at the end of this event. Okay, and let me before I go to the event, let me just tell you one very specific rule, that if you I know I respect your time, we all respect your time, so you will get the certificate for this event, but for that you have to be with us and you have to fill the attendance come feedback form at the end. Okay, and then whoever is filling the form will get the certificate. And we are seeing our past events, we are restricting all of you from the chat, and we kept our faculty members in different room, so we are restricting your voice now and your chat now, and definitely you will be getting a full chance to speak, you will be getting a full chance to ask questions, you will be getting a full chance to clear your doubts at the end of this event. Okay, so let me come back to this event. So today we will be covering during this event, we'll be covering the global transformation in the clinical research. We will be talking about the latest Indian clinical trial guidelines. We will be talking about the role of artificial intelligence across all the phases of clinical trials, from preclinical to the post-marketing. Okay, so this is about the event. And today, if I come to our eminent guest, we have Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput sir, who has been the senior vice president of Cadila Pharma and vertical head, and sir has published 3 wonderful books, and the recent book, The Attitude Matters, is one of the great book, and I have completed reading that book. I'll be showing you that book as well. And we have entire team has read that book. It's just wonderful, and it is one of the Amazon bestseller right now. Okay, sir is our corporate board director for Curio Training and Research Institute, and sir is also the corporate board director for multiple universities. He is the professor of practice for multiple universities in India, and he is pharma business leader, he is academic advisor, and global leadership coach. So if I talk about Pramod sir, his journey in the pharma industry for last four, I mean, he has spent almost 42 years in the pharma industry, in the live services, and now after his retirement, voluntary retirement, he is serving the nation, he is serving India, he is serving the pharma industry by coaching and mentoring the people like us, people like the newcomers, people like me, if I say direct individually. So I thank you, Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput sir, joining us as our chief guest, and we have with us Dr. Hit Sharma. I'll be coming to the introduction of our keynote speaker as well, and we have Dr. Amit R. Agrawal, we have Ms. Nisa Kader, we have Dr. Sohan Chitlange. I would like to thank first of all the D.Y. Patil College of School of Pharmacy for collaborating with us to celebrate this big event of on the occasion of International Clinical Trial Day 2025. So I would like to thank Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Director D.Y. Patil and Prasad University's School of Pharmacy and Research, Pune. And I would also like to thank Dr. Bhujwal for wonderful coordinating, the Vice Principal of the college, and the event coordinators, Dr. Karisma Rathi and Dr. Anjana Barola, who are the assistant professors at the Department of Pharmacy Practice, for joining us on this occasion. So guys, please be with us and try to learn as much as you can. So now with that, I would like to call Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir for the welcome address, and then our chief guest, Dr. Professor P.K. Rajput sir. Over to you, sir.
Very good evening to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to everyone here to the scientific session conducted as a part of International Clinical Trials Day 2025 celebration. Together, we gather not merely to attend the lectures or presentation, but to collectively recognize and reflect upon the evolution, ethics, and future of clinical research in India and across the globe. We are pleased to host this event in an academic collaboration with CliMed Research Solution India, a unique platform dedicated to nurturing excellence in clinical education and practice. Their commitment to preparing the next generation of researchers aligns perfectly with our institutional mission. As we reflect upon our roles as an academic leader and institution, it is our duty to create and support platforms like this, where emerging researchers are encouraged to question, learn, and lead. That's why at Dr. D.Y. Patil Nyan Prasad University School of Pharmacy and Research, we place a strong emphasis on research-driven learning. Our school has consistently maintained a legacy of academic and research excellence over the last 3 decades, and some of our proud recognition include accreditation with A++ grade, that is NAC accreditation with A++ grade with CGPA of 3.77 in our second cycle, which is actually a highest in the country. Then a consistent inclusion among the top 50 institutions in India by NIRF, National Institutional Ranking Framework, for the past 8 years. Strong academic offerings in undergraduate, postgraduate, doctoral, and PharmD program. A vibrant ecosystem of research laboratories, interdisciplinary projects, and industry partnership. We believe in blending academic excellence with real-world applications, and events like today's session reflect that approach perfectly. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of some of the most respected names in the clinical research who are with us today. Distinguished clinical research scientist Dr. Hit Sharma sir has already joined. Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput sir, the chief guest for the function. A thought leader and a global advisor, Dr. Ajit Singh is there, founder and CEO of CliMed Research Solution. There are many other people from the industry who are there, and they'll be speaking on this occasion. So let us not forget, clinical research is not just a profession, but it's a responsibility. Each trial, each protocol, each piece of data has a profound impact on the human lives. As we build future leaders in this field, we must also instill in them the values of ethics, scientific accuracy, and social accountability. Our journey is rooted in the belief that clinical research is not merely a career path, but a responsibility to uphold scientific truth, safeguard patient safety, and maintain the trust of the society. The integrity of clinical trials depend on our collective commitment to transparency, accountability, and methodological rigor. In that spirit, I want to take a moment to appreciate the vision and efforts of CliMed Research Solution India for their continued partnership in organizing academic initiatives that shape the future of clinical practice and research in India. Your work in bringing academia and industry is truly commendable. And I, as a principal of the institute, want to thank personally also for giving us an opportunity to collaborate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, to our student and young researcher attending today, these sessions are more than lectures. They are a window into the rapidly transforming world you are about to step into. The science of tomorrow will depend on your curiosity today. I encourage you to not only listen, but to engage, ask questions, and reflect. What you hear today may just shape your research question tomorrow. As we open this academic evening, let us celebrate the spirit of ethical research, the pursuit of innovation, and the collective accountability we all share in advancing healthcare through science. With this thought, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you once again, all of you, for this Clinical Trial Day celebration program. May this evening be thought-provoking, intellectually enriching, and a catalyst for continued excellence in clinical research. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the nice, kind words. Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, so without delay, our chief guest, Dr. Professor P.K. Rajput, sir, over to you. We are waiting to hear from you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Great evening and Jai Hind to
Jai Hind.
and respected, esteemed fellow members, distinguished speakers, and the valued participants. We welcome you on this great summit. When I say with the great summit, I thank Dr. Ajit Singh for inviting me because you have always set the context of the meeting in a very, very meticulous way. Dr. Suman,
Sir, sorry to disturb. आपकी थोड़ी सी voice, your voice is little bit echoing actually.
This is echoing.
Yes, sir.
One second, sir. Now how it is, sir?
It is.
Better
okay.
now?
हाँ ठीक है, sir. It's okay.
It's
I mean,
okay?
better.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Ajit sir, for helping me always. You always there as a great help person and pillar. And I feel very happy to be a part of your every meeting, right? Because you always try to encourage and inculcate the knowledge which is required for the Swarnim Bharat, for the Vishwaguru. I also convey my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sohan sir for the prelude of the session. I also convey my sincere thanks to all the participants who have joined today. It is with a great pleasure that today I have an opportunity to address an international clinical trial day, which is 2025, which today we are celebrating. This day holds profound significance for all of us in the healthcare and the research community, as it always reminds us the vital role of the clinical trials which plays in advancing the medical science and improving the patient outcomes. Today, we gather to celebrate this spirit of innovation and collaboration, focusing on our theme, which beautifully been explained by Dr. Ajit, global to local, navigating the new era of clinical trials with artificial intelligence, the buzzword, and the guidelines. When we say artificial intelligence, it is becoming a dynamic intelligence because it is going to help us in many ways. As we delve into the topic for the discussion, we are presented with a unique opportunity to explore the ongoing global transformation in the clinical research. The landscape of the clinical trials is rapidly evolving, driven by the technological advancement and an increasing awareness of the need for the ethical, patient-centric approaches, which is must. It is very essential for us to remain vigilant and adaptable, ensuring that our practices keep pace with these changes which are required. We also have the privilege of updating our knowledge on the latest Indian clinical trial guidelines, which has been there in this curriculum. And these guidelines are instrumental in ensuring a clear-cut, robust framework for conducting the trials that prioritize patient safety and scientific integrity as well. By embracing these regulations, we can ensure that our research aligns with the global standards while catering to the unique needs of our population, which is basically required. A significant aspect of our discussion today will focus on contextualizing the role of AI across all phases of the clinical trials. Artificial intelligence is not just a buzzword. I said it is changing, becoming a component of our daily life and becoming a dynamic intelligence. It is becoming an integral tool that enhances our capabilities, our capacities, including for the pre-clinical research, where AI can help identifying the promising drug candidates to the post-marketing surveillance, which is the end result, where it aids in monitoring the drug safety and effectiveness as well. The potential for the AI to streamline processes, it reduces the cost and improves the patient outcomes is immense. And it is essential that we leverage this technology responsibly and very effectively. At the same time, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our convener, Dr. Ajit and Dr. Sohan, for their leadership in organizing this wonderful, great summit, knowledge summit. A special thanks to our moderator once again, Dr. Ajit, because you are going to moderate. Somehow we are missing Sarvjit Madam, who will, Dr. Ajit will guide us through our continued discussion. And we are extremely fortunate to have Dr. Hit Sharma sir as our keynote speaker, whose insights always undoubtedly inspire us and shows the path which is really required. Additionally, I am really excited to learn from esteemed faculty speaker, Dr. Amit Agarwal, Mr. Adarsh Tripathi, and Ms. Nisha Abdul, who will share their expertise and experiences. And this magnificent learning summit is being coordinated by both of the great person, Dr. Karish Marathi and Dr. Anjana Barola. As we conclude our seminar, I encourage all the participants which are there to reflect on the knowledge gained from our distinguished speaker, because your participation today is not merely an academic exercise. It is a stepping stone towards becoming informed leaders in the clinical research for the future, which is the requirement. At the end of this seminar, you will be receiving a certificate which Dr. Ajit has already announced as a token of the recognition for your commitment to learning and growth. So together, after filling the form, let us embrace these challenges of opportunities of this new era in clinical trials, learn from these things, take the certificate and put it that yes, you were there in a part of the great session which your knowledge has been increased. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, Ajit sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sohan sir. Thank you, sir, and everybody. And I look forward to an engaging and a fruitful discussion today. Thank you, the group of Curio. Thank you, the group of CliMed, for inviting me once again. Thank you, and a great learning ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful words. And Curio is rising, Curio is growing, Curio is blooming under your leadership. You are our, Mark Darsak, you are our torchbearer, you are our director of the board. So I always get screwed if I am, somewhere I'm wrong. I always get wonderful suggestions from you, and it's all, all your guidance, which is showing us the path. So thank you very much, sir, for joining us as a chief guest, and thank you very much for showing us the path today as well, and concluding the theme of the today's event wonderfully. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. So before I go to the next, we start the event. We start the event with our, next session. I would like to tell you what you are going to get. Okay. The people who participated in the quizzes, what they are going to get. So because this quiz was again wonderfully curated by the college and us all together, so you are going to get in our, we have two courses which are coming now. The impact course, we call it 7-in-1, where you will be learning all the domains of pharmaceutical sciences, all the domains of pharma industry: clinical research, medical writing, pharmacovigilance, CDM, regulatory affairs, data analytics, and medical coding. Okay, this course actually costs 50,000, but as it is supported by CSR policy, CSR of Curio, we are just giving it in 10,000 because it is completely supported by our CSR. So this is 10,000, and additionally, who got first 10 ranks in the quiz yesterday that we are going to tell you at the end of the event, they will get additionally 20%. Additionally, 20% means that they will get this course only in 8,000 rupees. Only in 8,000 rupees. Impact also, and if they want to just complete three domains: pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, and medical writing, this is 3-in-1 diploma. Executive diploma in clinical research, this costs around 6,000, I believe, 7,000. Again, 75% is supported by CSR, still on this, they will get 25% discount. All 10 people who are in the top 10 ranks, they will get 20% discount on these courses, and anyone else, if they want to register, you're most welcome. Okay, so with this, I will going to the next event, next session, which is on the global transformation in clinical research, which will be taken by Dr. Hit Sharma sir. Sir is the medical director of medical affairs, clinical research and pharmacovigilance at Serum Institute of India Private Limited, Pune. So, sir is working as executive director. Sir is experienced director of medical affairs with a proven track record in the biotechnology sector, proficient in operation management, vaccine development. He has been the, he has played the crucial role in the vaccine development of corona as well. And he has been into the clinical data oversight, good clinical practices, pharmacovigilance, processing a robust research background, completed by his master's in business development, business administration in the international business. And sir is actually from the medical background. Sir is MBBS, MD, and over to you, sir. Without a delay, over to you for this wonderful session on global transformation in the clinical research. And I welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much, Ajit, for this kind introduction. Before I start, I would like to thank Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Dr. PK Rajput for speaking such nice words for me. A very good evening, everyone. I'm honored to share the platform with the stalwarts from the industry, both from industry and academia, which is Dr. Rajput, Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Dr. Ajit Singh, and my other colleagues and friends. It gives me a great feeling of pride to address all of you on this eve of International Clinical Trials Day. So happy Clinical Trials Day to you all. The topic of my presentation is global transformation in clinical research. So with the advancement of technology, I will talk on how artificial intelligence and machine learning is taking over the clinical research arena globally. I have prepared a few slides for you all. Let me share my screen. One second.
Yes, sir, it is visible and full screen.
Yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. One second, yeah. So the title of my presentation is Global Transformation in Clinical Research, but I will be talking more about how artificial intelligence and machine learning has taken over the arena of clinical research these days globally. So these are the headlines of the different slides I will be taking you through. So understanding AI and ML in more detail, how it is being used in clinical R&D, the benefits of AI in enhancing the operational efficiencies, making the study design, the study protocol, how do we identify sites, patient recruitment, how it helps in pharmacovigilance, how AI ML is helping our researchers in clinical monitoring, and how patient care is taken care by AI these days. So augmenting the future of clinical development with talent, technology, and expertise. This is the overview of my presentation today. So AI and ML are transforming how clinical development occurs, thereby reducing the significant time and cost efficiency while providing better insights in making decisions while conducting clinical trials. Advances in technology, when coupled with integration of healthcare data, help automate processes and help improvement of data quality across clinical development efforts. As these tools evolve, new opportunities continue to emerge that drive further benefits to the clinical research landscape. Almost half of global life science professionals say they are either using or are interested in using AI in their clinical research. It has, of course, it has recently come into last 3 to 4 years, AI is being used, but most of the researchers have already started using it, or they are more interested in using AI in their clinical research. Many companies in India also are coming up with newer tools that how we can use this AI in the clinical research arena. And applications of AI and ML in healthcare are expected to grow almost $8 billion, which is higher up, when compared to 2016. It was around $667.1 million, and now it will be going up to $8 billion by next few years. So, like I said, many people in the industry are still they are still uncertain about what these technologies are and how they work, but they are interested in using this technology in the clinical research. So what exactly is AI and ML? AI, artificial intelligence, is not a plug and play software. It is a sophisticated set of smart technologies that are customized to seek and learn from data or experience. And then they perform tasks based on what they have learned while improving through experience. AI applications range from basic to incredibly complex platforms. Simple AI applications can include tools like chatbots and automated phone screens, which we are already using day to day. So they tell these chatbots or automated phone screens to give a proper response to different voice or text commands. Like we are having Google Home at home, so we say, okay, Google, play this song for me. Okay, Google, what is the temperature in, say, Berlin today? Or okay, go, if you have to travel somewhere, what is the temperature in Switzerland? So they are, all this is AI. Or when we have smartphones in our hands, like Apple phones, so we just say, hey Siri, play this song for me. So all this is nothing but AI. So AI can analyze huge data sets to uncover trends and answer important questions, like in which patients are most likely to respond to a certain treatment. We can ask AI, and then the AI will not only tell us that which patients are going to be responded to this treatment, but also devise a treatment plan also for us. So all these things, all these tools are being used in clinical research these days. You go with a scan to the doctor, and doctor has seen, and a lot of data which is now available online, the doctor would just see that scan, feed it into the system, and then the full diagnosis will come along with the treatment plan. So all this is nothing but AI, and all this is being used in medical, information systems and medical treatment. Similarly, like AI, machine learning is a branch of AI, and machine learning relies heavily on inference and patterns to address challenges. So in machine learning also, there are algorithms, statistical models, which are used to enable computers to perform specific tasks. It relies heavily on inference and patterns to address the challenges. So these algorithms then leverage deep learning and mathematical techniques to analyze large data sets to find answers and predict outcomes. Over the time, the algorithm learns what patterns and information deliver the most useful results, then adapts these future searches accordingly. Like search engines like Google or Blink, when you start searching, you put something in Google, automatically they will start searching for you and they will come out with a response also. So all this is machine learning. And even when recent technology advances in big data have made it more practical to apply machine learning to massive data sets to derive insights which are previously impossible to detect. As an example, AI and ML are being used commonly in consumer applications also. Like, you order something on Amazon or Blinkit, they already have your previous history already saved. So a product you might like based on past purchase, they should show you that product. Or when you are going through the, surfing the your TV, so Netflix will recommend you a new movie for you, which will be based on your previous search. So that is the AI and ML which is working for you. So all this is AI ML. So all this is being used in our day-to-day life also now these days. How it is being used in clinical trials. So these techniques have a broader range of applications in clinical research and development too. These technology can only be leveraged by organizations that have access to such tools, expertise, and larger healthcare data to design and build effective algorithms and accurately interpret the results. Like identify molecules that have the most potential, finding patients populations and that fit inclusion-exclusion criteria. So AI will help us which molecule will be working in which indication. And even in studies also, which patient population will be used, because if we have eligibility criteria, we have certain inclusion-exclusion criteria that in this study will be enrolling these patients in this age group, having this kind of disease parameter. So AI will detect such patient population for us and help us to recruit those patients much faster. AI also helps in reviewing scans, claims, reports. When patient has some surgery done, and then they also all this AI does, and other healthcare data to interpret trends to improve and accelerate decision making faster. But healthcare data is often unstructured and difficult to access. So this requires extreme protection to ensure privacy. In short, we need to think differently about how data needs to be collected, studied, combined, and protected to answer questions solve problems, and make decisions in healthcare. So when sponsors collaborate with partners that have necessary technical and pharmaceutical expertise, they can achieve incredible time and cost savings while reducing risks and improving the quality of their research. So, like I said, we have to think differently about how data needs to be collected, studied, combined, and protected to answer questions and solve the problems. And thus, we can make decisions in the treatment and other healthcare in patients. So, as far as the study design goes, a poor study design has catastrophic impact on the cost of the trial, efficiency, study results, and success potential of the clinical trials. We can use AI, ML, and natural language processing tools to assess and select optimal primary and secondary endpoints to ensure a relevant protocol for regulatory submissions. Furthermore, this helps us in selecting ideal country, site strategies, and startup plans for patient recruitment. A better study design leads to a more predictable results, a reduced cycle time for protocol development, fewer protocol amendments, and higher efficiency throughout the study. It also results in improved recruitment, fewer and non-enrolling sites, and a fewer protocol amendments. So everything AI, if you feed in the data, AI will help you to come out with a properly robust clinical trial study protocol, study design, study protocol, sites, patient population which needs to be enrolled, and these improvements will facilitate realistic and accurate planning and increase chances of a successful clinical trial. These are the benefits of AI in clinical research as far as the study design goes. Then we talk about the site identification and the patient recruitment. Identifying trial sites to successfully perform clinical research with access to enough patients who meet eligibility criteria is an ongoing challenge. Nearly half of the sites we know, most of them, they miss enrollment targets. So if you have those sites already selected, which have that patient pool, that the target population in which you want to conduct clinical trials, if you have all those sites already identified, your study can never go wrong. You will have a proper site, proper patient pool, and a successful study. So one of the ways AI and ML can mitigate these risks is by identifying the sites with the highest recruitment potential and suggesting appropriate recruitment strategies. This involves mapping patient population and proactively targeting high potential sites to deliver most patients, identifying the best avenues to recruit them. This means sponsors will not be going for large number of sites. They can open fewer sites, accelerate patient recruitment, and reduce the risk of under-enrollment. So you'll have a properly conducted study with whatever sample size you have selected, you will be able to achieve that sample size and will be a successful clinical trial for submission to regulatory authorities and getting your product licensed. Next is pharmacovigilance. How AI is used in pharmacovigilance. In pharmacovigilance, massive amounts of unstructured and structured data needs to be integrated and reviewed in order to ensure quality and oversight. So AI and ML are addressing many of such challenges and enhancing quality and oversight. These tools can be used to automate highly manual processing tasks and translate and digitize safety case processing and ADR documents to make them more usable. They can also perform data listening tasks to monitor conversation on social media and other platforms, ensuring adverse events are properly identified. So we can use tools like OCR, which is optical character recognition, natural language processing, and deep neural networks. They can be used to analyze and format structured and unstructured data for a faster and more efficient safety reviews. So this is how it is used in pharmacovigilance. When it comes to clinical monitoring, so clinical monitoring is a tremendous manual effort. In clinical monitoring, a tremendous manual effort is spent analyzing the site risks and generating action items to mitigate those. So we, in day-to-day running of clinical trials, we have all these terms that, okay, fine, so these are the action items to be done. How do we mitigate such risks? So all this needs to be done. So once you have AI in place and there's a large amount of data which is already available globally, in the web. So this AI uses all that data and brings it to your clinical research. Also, this helps you to mitigate that such, so that you don't face such risks in your studies. So AI ML concepts can alleviate such pressures by manually assessing the risk environment and delivering predictive analytics to generate more effective clinical monitoring insights. By proactively identifying which sites are more likely to have recruitment and performance issues, or which patients are at higher risk for potentially adverse events. So such patients are not recruited in the studies in that case. With these insights, we can take faster action and avoid potential unforeseen issues. So these advanced analytics can provide site rankings for risk assessment of sites. So if we have AI/ML already helping us in recruitment, performing and mitigating such issues, we will have a successful study which will be in compliance with our study protocol and apt for submission to the regulatory authorities to get the product licensed. So how it is used in clinical monitoring? So we have successful, so what happens is that usually when we conduct clinical trials, we know that there are subjects, because in clinical trials, we have to sometimes pay for the wages of the subject also, because the subject does not go for his work that day and he comes to the site for, say, taking that medication or, being a part of the clinical trial. Sometimes they get lured because you have to pay their daily wages also, because we pay for their daily wages because they are not going for their work. So we need to pay for their transport expenses and whatever daily wages are there. So sometimes these subjects, because they are lured by this money, they become a part of 2-3 clinical trials. So this was happening in the past. But no, when AI has already come into the picture, it's already there implemented in most of our clinical research. So we come to know through AI that there's no duplicate subject, which is entering to 2-3 different sites. So use of machine learning to detect duplicate subject registrations. So if your subject is registered at a site saying KEM Hospital in Pune, he cannot go to say DY Patil or cannot go to Bharti Hospital and say that, okay, I want to be a part of this clinical trial, because automatically, immediately AI will detect that, okay, no, he's already been a subject in a trial which is going on at KEM Hospital, so he cannot be enrolled. So AI helps in detecting such duplicate subjects, even to auto-identify subjects with abnormal lab test results. So these abnormal test results, if there could be an error by the data entry operator. So if he's entering a wrong data, that AI will immediately come out with a red flag. Or if the reading is actually above the limit, so again AI will come out with a red flag. Okay, fine. This sample again either needs to be retested, or this subject is already having this problem, so he should not be enrolled in this clinical trial. And any to detect any vital sign outliers also. So all this is being helped by in the clinical monitoring by AI. So all this is being used in our clinical research these days. When it comes to translation, yes, identifying documents in any language, different languages like Spanish, French. So you have reports coming in from say Korea or Germany or Chinese or Russian reports to a doctor who is in India. So these AI, it translates those reports into the language that the doctor speaks. So maybe if it is in Spanish, so he will transform it to English language, and then the doctor can go through the report and give the treatment, diagnose and then give the treatment. Similarly, enhanced language translation. So these documents can then be integrated into digital workflow. So basically, they can be translated into the local language which is being used by the doctor, and finally he can diagnose and devise a treatment plan. This is how it is being used in translation. What are the benefits of AI in clinical research? So basically, patient care, disease detection algorithms are now being designed to leverage medical information such as symptoms and procedures. This will help diagnose and identify patients who are very likely to develop a disease. And further, this will allow for a proactive care of that patient, as well as new recruiting insights for early stage disease studies and recruiting subjects in those studies that require treatment-naive patients. So all these are functions which AI will perform before a subject is enrolled in a particular clinical trial. Just recently, 2-3 days back, I got a call from a colleague of mine. I won't name his, not a colleague, but a friend of mine from a different city. So he called me up that his friend needs some advice because his son is suffering from muscular dystrophy. So he wanted to know that, and the treatment is quite expensive because the drug which that person was using was almost costing almost more than 3 crores or something like that was the total treatment cost. And he needed to be a part of the clinical trial. That friend of his stays in US. So I went online, I looked for the trials which are going on in muscular dystrophy. So I helped him with few centers. So he was quite thankful. So this is how AI will help you in finding out what exactly is happening globally with respect to any disease indication. And then patients can get enrolled into those trials and then become a part of that study, and then they get a free treatment. And maybe if the drug is working, because if it is in early stages, of course, the patient has to continue taking it for some time before it starts working. But then if it is already established, a patient can become a part of the clinical trial and get the treatment also and recover. So I got him connected with those sites, 3-4 sites I gave him, and he is now going to connect with those sites and take that treatment for his son. So this is how the AI works in clinical research also. When it comes to AI in patient safety, so we have, using OCR, we can improve the, we can convert the majority of adverse events reporting media from various formats into a digitized and standard format. These standard formats or digitized formats are fully auditable. Like we have these narratives which are written for serious adverse events. So these narratives run into, when we have serious adverse events in a clinical trial, these narratives run into say 8 to 10 pages. And then we have a couple of adverse events, like recently we are conducting one clinical trial in Bangladesh, where no fault of our medicine, because the weather is like that and the country is like that. So most of these children, they develop bacterial infections because of they belong to that state of the society. So lots of adverse events, serious adverse events are being reported. So all that is digitized. There's a standard format. So AI transforms all those adverse events digitally, and then we don't have to write every time 8 to 10 pages. Automatically a report comes out, and then it is being ready for submission to regulatory agencies, both in that country and as well as in India, because we need to inform the regulators that if this drug is being given in India and other countries also, what are the SAEs being reported. Well, in India, we did not have any such SAEs, but from that particular country, lots of SAEs coming. But then those are being transformed automatically by the use of AI. So augmenting the future of clinical development. So clinical development landscape is changing quickly, and sponsors need to have the best insights to make the right decisions, to increase predictability, reduce time to market, and improve efficiencies of their products. By using these methods in clinical development, we can introduce change to prove and improve. So this can happen through AI-derived insights. Like I said, they can be applied to many aspects of clinical development. These technologies are not going to replace human expertise, because humans will remain, but technologies will keep on advancing. Today only, I think there was an article in the newspaper. I read it, and they said that a company has recalled all those employees who were asked to leave because they had taken AI platform into use. But now the company has called all those employees back, because you cannot replace human expertise even when it comes to AI. So as the volume and so they keep on they're going to accelerate. So this AI is going to accelerate our ability to analyze the data and take meaningful action in response to create a safer, more streamlined research environment. So as the volume and complexity of clinical data continues to increase, AI applications bring forth potential values to the clinical trial process and the drug discovery industry. These are the different technologies, talents and technologies which are given. So deep pharmaceutical knowledge and domain expertise, state of the science and in AI and ML technologies, data analytics and machine learning experts, access to vast healthcare data sets, the ability to integrate these disparate data sets. So these technologies hold huge promise for clinical development, but that promise can only be achieved by organizations that have tools, talent, and partners to leverage these technologies in relevant ways. So it's not that any organization can take it up. You have to have that expertise. You have to have those tools, talents, and partners who can make use of better use of these technologies, and then you can use this AI in your day-to-day, in clinical research. To conclude, the goal is to advance our understanding of human health through better, more insightful decisions, integrating human science with technology, which provides more relevancy and precision to decision makers. It can transform how we diagnose patients and treat their conditions with minimal errors, how we can find patients faster, maybe even before they become patients. The proven promise and huge potential of using AI and ML to accelerate drug discovery while cutting costs and risk is a tremendous catalyst for innovation. And by continuing to leverage data, intelligence, analytics, and domain expertise, we have the ability to transform the clinical development landscape in ways that will benefit both patients, sponsors, and the physicians. So this was something a brief which I wanted to give you on AI. which we have been using in our clinical research domain. Yeah, so if you have any questions on this, please feel free to ask me.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful and very insightful session, sir. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can just put in the chat box. Anyone? If you have any questions, please put in the chat box your questions. We will take up your questions.
Other than AI and ML, if you have any questions on clinical trials also,
If you
can
have
feel
any
free to ask
questions
me.
on clinical trials, if you have any questions related to
On vaccines or
clinical
trials also.
research, vaccine, anything, you can just ask. And sir's company has recently even introduced the vaccine for the young girls on HPV. Sir, if you could
Yes.
just tell us a bit about that, it will be very helpful
Yes.
for our young
So
girls.
HPV vaccine is for cervical cancer for girls, and it is given to boys also. But it is given to boys, men, girls, and women also. Basically, this vaccine of ours can be given to subjects who are aged 9 to 26 years. Those who are between 9 to 14 years of age, we give 2 doses of the vaccine at 0 and 6 months. So baseline, and the second dose given 6 months later. And those who are above 14 years of age, like you all are, so you will need 3 doses of the vaccine at 0, 2, and 6 months. So 1 dose now, second after 2 months, and third after 6 months. So this is how the vaccine is given, and it prevents you against cervical cancer, which is fatal. So once a woman acquires a cervical cancer, it is fatal. There's no treatment for that later on. So it's better that you prevent yourself from cervical cancer, and you give the vaccine at an early age, so that you do not acquire that infection. And in India, if I tell you the mortality rate, every 8 minutes there's a death which is happening. Every 8 minutes there's a death which is happening in India, and this is totally preventable. So there was no awareness earlier, but now because there were two vaccines by multinationals which were there in India, but then they both were expensive. But now, since the time we have come to the market, we are generating more awareness about the vaccine. And if any questions you have regarding the vaccine, you can easily take it. It is very safe, and I strongly recommend all those people who are in this age group should take this vaccine and protect yourself. For
Yes.
men, it prevents against anogenital warts, penile cancers, head and neck cancers. Then for female, the main thing is cervical cancer, but then again, warts and everything.
Yes, sir. So I'll take up 1 or 2 questions.
Please.
Some questions are on how to use AI in clinical trials. What is the use of AI in clinical trials? And that is our, sir has told very crisp and stepwise. We have Dr. Amit Agarwal to tell in the next session, guys. But let me take some very important questions. Okay. Okay, I think Sir has taken this, but it's a very interesting question. Is it important to learn AI and ML to excel in clinical research for the students?
So, the world is changing now. So earlier, when I joined the industry 25 years back, nobody knew about, even I did not know what is AI ML. But now, since last 4 years, this word has come, so much into, there's a brainstorming going on from everywhere. AI ML is happening in everywhere. And now in clinical research also, to identify patients, to recruit, to find out the sites also, site identification, everywhere we are going to need help of AI. And ML. So I think it would better that you start understanding this right now at this early stage, and with time it will further evolve. So you'll have to keep yourselves upgraded and have full knowledge about how this is being used in clinical research. It will definitely help you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I think good evening, sir. Sahil Chaudhary is asking okay, for pharma student, how they will be part of AI, even though pharmacy students are lacking in AI knowledge. Okay, can you guide on us any skills subject for all the students? Sir, would you like to take this question?
See, frankly, I tell you, even we did not have any knowledge until 6 months back about AI. Although I am into this clinical research field since last 25 years, until 6 months back, I attended a seminar in Mumbai by a company, IT company, who gave a seminar, and they had called only the medical people who are into the clinical research. And then they told us that how AI is going to transform this clinical research arena. So from there, we started learning. And then when we spoke to our CROs, clinical research organizations who do clinical trials for us, they told us that we are already using it in our platform. So they already have that database from where they select sites. I just have to tell them that this is a disease indication, and they will come out with the sites. They'll come out with a patient pool. They'll come out with investigators who already have that experience. So all this is AI which is being used. So even if you're a pharma person and you have not yet studied about AI, you will definitely come to, you start reading about it and you will definitely come to know that how it is being used in your day-to-day life. You are already using a mobile phone, where in Blinkit and Amazon, you're ordering things. Even like I said, movies also, Netflix, you see what movie and next movie which you want to see, similar on those lines only, will give you an example. So like that. All
Yes,
this
and
is
it was really a wonderful example, sir. What you have given about the AML case, it is very useful, and such cases, such rare cases and rare diseases are emerging, and the treatments are very costlier. So in such cases, treatments are, these clinical trials are very helpful, and AI helps in finding such clinical trials, such sites, and the eligibility of the patient to such clinical trials. So this is really wonderful, and it's really very useful, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so can a drug being tested in a clinical trial cause death due to overdose? I don't feel that they give overdose of the clinical trial drug, investigation drug, but
So I'll
okay.
tell you.
Yes, sir, please.
So usually when the drugs are tested, we do tests in animals also. If in humans 3 doses of the drug is to be given, in animals we test 4 doses. So we already established the safety of the drug in a person, unless you overdose, really overdose. That is your intent to get into that mode. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
basically, and if you do not want to that little bit of overdose, or maybe instead of 0.5 ml, you give 1 ml of that injection, it will not cause any death of a person. So don't worry about that overdose. Many times we get such questions, or maybe some mails also from many of the doctors, that by mistake this drug had to be given in a different route of administration. They gave it in a different route of administration, and it was and also overdose also. But then we tell them to monitor the patient, and nothing will happen.
Yes, sir. There are some short questions. It is a wonderful insight on AI and ML in clinical trials. I just wanted to know how AI is helpful in patient recruitment. Aparna is asking this question, sir.
So Aparna, what happens is that if I go to a random site and tell them, suppose I go to one hospital and tell them that okay, fine, and any particular department, if my study is for a vaccine in pediatrics, I go to a medicine physician and ask him to do this trial, he will not be able to do it, and he will, of course, they love to take the trial, but then that trial will continue for n number of months or maybe years also. But AI will tell me, yes, this is the indication. It has to be given to this doctor who is practicing this, who is practicing in this field, and he will be able to give you more patients. So this is also, I know if this is a vaccine, I have to go to a pediatrician, and he's got these number of patients. And pediatricians also, like you have neonatologists, you have intensivists, you have actual pediatricians. So I know for this vaccine, I have to go to a pediatrician and not a neonatologist, or I have to go to this doctor. So this is how they help us in identifying the sites, the doctors, and the indication which is to be given by that particular site.
Okay, another question. I think Sir has taken already. Can AI replaces human resources in research domain in near future? Okay, I think he has taken already. One question is, sir, to what extent are electronic health records currently being utilized for patient recruitment in clinical trials in India? Any insight?
Very good question. So we always have electronic health records maintained in the hospitals of all the subjects, of all the patients who visit those hospitals. And when we launch a clinical trial, or we give a clinical trial to any particular site, they dig into that data. So all these hospitals, if I need a sample size of say 500 subjects, they already know that this hospital has these many subjects of this particular indication. They will call up all those subjects through those electronic health records, and they will say that we are starting with this trial, come and get enrolled. So this is how these electronic health records, they help us in clinical trials. And this we have seen in many of our vaccine trials also. It helps
Yeah.
us in faster recruitment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So, guys, we will take some questions. We'll keep some questions to the next session because I believe, those questions can be answered in the next session. And if not, then we will take the answers from Dr. Amit as well. And Utkarsh, I have shared one course here in the chat box as well. You can join our 7-in-1 course, which is, very much, helpful and curated for the pharmacy students to learn the entire clinical research. So, guys, will not take up the questions now, and with this, we can take the questions further in the after the next session. So, first of all, I would like to thank Sarma sir for joining us and for this wonderful session. And
Thank you so much,
taking
Ajit.
up the
It is
questions.
always a
Thank you, sir.
pleasure and lovely, coming to your such sessions. And I feel, I mean, you are, I would say, blessed and as well as, I mean, such, you're doing a great job basically by,
Thank you, sir.
educating people and, that too, they are always learning. So I keep on going through your LinkedIn, what you put, and it's always about learning. More power to you. And if you
Thank you,
need any
sir.
support, any help in future too, do keep,
Definitely, sir.
you can call me up anytime.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. It was
Thank
nice
you, sir.
meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, so with that, we will go to the next session, which is on AI revolutionizing the clinical trials from the smart recruitment to predictive insights. And we have Dr. Amit Agrawal with us to take this session, who is right now working as a senior scientist at one sec. Let me just open his bio. Yes. So, sir, Dr. Amit Agrawal is working right now as Innoplexus Consulting Services Private Limited, Pune, India, as a senior scientific manager, and he has joined this, company a long back. And after his PhD in molecular pharmacology and toxicology from the University of Southern California, Los Angeles, and from the same place, he has done his MS in regulatory science and MS in pharmaceutical sciences in 2010 and 2013 respectively. And he is from the pharma background. He has done the Bachelor of Pharmacy from the University of Pune, and he has worked on multiple projects in project management, molecular biology, and regulatory. And his citations are more than 500. His H-index papers are more than 10. Even I-index is more than 10. His one of the most cited article is having more than 100. Actually, not one, two articles are having more than 100 citations. So I'll not take much time. I'll hand over the session to Dr. Amit Agrawal. Thank you very much, Dr. Amit, for joining us for this wonderful evening to celebrate the International Clinical Trial Day 2025 with us. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Amit.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. My pleasure to be here to deliver this talk and to have this chat with the students as well as all the accomplished members here. Um, I'm glad to be here, and hopefully we'll have a good conversation around clinical trials as well as how AI is now transforming clinical trials as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see this. Just make it full screen. That's all. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, as we mentioned, I'm going to talk today about AI revolutionizing clinical trials. And this is something which is, I mean, a lot of you may already know about this thing. We all know that clinical trials are inherently very risky, time consuming, and as well as expensive. And these have been problems for a long time now. And the reason why there is excitement around AI in clinical trials, especially apart from everything else, is also because how AI can work on each of these problems actually. So it can help to reduce risk, and I'll talk about that how it is doing that. It can help to reduce time that it takes to conduct a clinical trial, be it recruitment, be it measuring outcomes, be it how the patients are set up in the trial, what kind of biomarkers are measured. All of these things can be impacted with AI. And also the expensive part, when time reduces, definitely the expenses come down. But not only that, now with virtual clinical trials as well as a lot of innovative ways in which trials have been conducted, definitely there has been a downside on the expense part as well. So there's almost billions of dollars that are expended by pharma companies for developing new drugs. uh, if you guys would check into the last year's records or over the last few years as well, you will see that there's hardly less than 1% of the drugs which get approved. So if you see how many drugs got approved by the FDA, by the US FDA last year, it's actually around 50. So every year around 50 drugs get approved, whereas more than 8,000 drugs go into clinical trial each year. So the number, in fact, the efficacy is very, very low in terms of how many drugs actually get approved. So all that failure, all the drugs that fail, that's a significant loss of time, energy, money, everything. And even one person impact on this can have a significant impact on companies' bottom lines, on how new therapies are coming up. It will impact everything. So that's how important then it becomes when we look at AI and how it can affect things within the clinical trial space. So we know that a lot of these failures are also associated with recruitment targets not being met. So almost 86%, and this is the major portion for any main reason why trials fail, basically why drugs fail as well. So most of them, they do not meet their recruitment targets, and that is the major reason. Apart from that, there is of course dropout rates as well as limited efficacy, but those are much lesser. um, but if you look at how this thing is being used in pharma and biotech teams and how they are trying to de-risk, first and foremost is of course identifying trial sites and PIs, investigators. So patient recruitment, as we know, is a big challenge, one of the major or the major reason why trials fail. Here there is significant impact that AI is bringing out, and that is through not only simplifying how patients are recruited, but also matching the right patients with the right trials. So with social media and all of these, now it has become also easier to be able to track a person who is having a particular disease, or who may benefit from a certain trial. So identifying and matching eligible patients, also identifying sites. When there are 20 different sites in which one clinical study is performed, usually or most of the times it's not like every site recruits the same amount of patients. All the sites are not equivalent in that sense, and that's why identifying the right sites which are always be able to meet the recruitment targets, is able to understand a complex trial protocol. So these are very important things when a trial is conducted. And so this is again another area which can help in improving patient recruitment, as well as how the trial is set up. Investigators, again, you would have seen that certain doctors are preferred by certain companies. Some of the doctors are preferred by a lot of companies, and that is because they are able to perform or conduct the trials in a particular way. And that's why there are a lot of regulations, of course, around these things, and not everybody is able to follow them. So it's also important to select the right investigators. So these are some of the things within the recruitment space. I'll also give some examples of how we have done this, with real life examples of how we have done this through our company in the next few slides. But this is just an overview of each of these different stages being affected by AI. Uh, we have next as clinical trial design, and this is where also again AI is playing a major role, because how do you set up a trial? It has at least 100 different things with respect to the masking, the allocations of the patients, how you are setting up the trial in terms of is it open label, how it should be. All of these things play a major role in defining the trial success as well. And so we perform a lot of simulations as well of trial scenarios. So it's not possible always to try everything, right? So we can simulate a lot of scenarios within trials using AI, and then predict what could potentially be happening and what could be the best possible trial design, which has the highest chances of success. And that is how AI can transform designing of clinical trials as well. There is also a lot of historical data. So if you look at US clinicaltrials.gov registry, so there are at least 5 to 6 lakhs trials there listed already. Of course, other registries, India CTRI, and in EMEA, you will find more such trials as well. But from these 6 lakh trials, there is already a lot of information which is out there, from which you can learn and design the next trial. So how we can summarize this information, how we can collect all of this historical data in an easy to understand form, as well as use insights from these to take our next step, or take an action to derive actionable insights from this kind of data. That is where AI utilizes a lot of analytics, a lot of patterns and insights recognition, which help to conduct a better trial as well. So to learn from historical data. So this is again another example where AI can help. And fourth, which is the most important, I would say, where conducting a clinical trial is basically to make sure that the trial succeeds, right? So how can you do that, and can you predict if the trial will succeed or not? This is something again on which we and many others have also trained models, AI models, which can take an input of a clinical trial ID, and then based on it, it can predict if this trial would succeed or not. And I'll also go a bit deeper to show you how exactly this is done. But taking some of the examples here, this is one article from a recent paper, where they showed how, I think somebody was also asking in the from the previous discussion about how EHR data can be used, right, for patient recruitment. So this is a study which was performed on data extraction from EMR, from electronic medical records, and then using them for patient recruitment. So a lot of data in electronic health records, or in any health record, is in the unstructured form. And when I say unstructured, it basically means in the form of a text, which is not having any particular field. Like if we say name Amit Agarwal, so that is kind of a structured information. But when doctors take notes, or when reports are generated of patients in the hospitals, you would see that there are a lot of those things are in a very unstructured form. A doctor writes paragraphs of information based on how the treatment is shaping up. There is a prescription of the drugs that the person is supposed to take, right? So a lot of this data remains in an unstructured form. um, and you can use a lot of AI, and recently now with LLMs, large language models, these are able to, I'm sure all of you must have used ChatGPT and Gemini and the likes. So these models are able to understand this textual language and then reason out of it, to also be able to make sense of that information, and being able to use that information for further decision making, right? So there are two types of records within EMR also. There are structured as well as unstructured data. Structured data is where if it's a report, then what was the parameter tested, how much was the value, what should be the range. This is structured information. If it is unstructured, it is those doctor notes, right, which the doctor writes in a form of paragraph. You have to read it to understand. AI also needs to read it and then generate or extract specific information. What drug was prescribed, what disease was diagnosed, these kind of things, right? So all of this is done through OCR. This is object content recognition, and then de-identified. De-identify meaning you take out all the information which can directly identify the patient, like the name, the hospital, the address, the age, all of these specific patient health, personal health information. You can de-identify that so that it does not impinge on patients' privacy. And then on the structured variables, these can be directly used. But then both of these could be fed into NLP. NLP is natural language processing. So based on how it is written in a natural language, you can combine this information and then also leverage medical ontology. So a lot of times ontology, again, it just basically means a session, a kind of a dictionary, but not in the sense of a word and its meaning, but more in the sense of a word and its synonyms. So lung cancer, triple negative breast cancer, what does each of these disease mean? That is what goes into the ontology. And every doctor may use a different term for the same disease, maybe, right? So at that point of time, how the AI can recognize that this is the same disease that both the doctors are talking about, that is where you can use medical ontology. And when you combine this with symbolic reasoning, then you can have a strong system which can understand this information to very easily go through all the data and then pick out patients who are relevant for a given study. So what this article actually showed was retrieval and generation capabilities. So going getting out some chunk of information, and then on top of it applying LLMs to understand that information to extract specific variables like surgeries and response and the stage of disease. Those can be performed better when there is retrieval and then you apply LLM rather than directly applying LLM. And also that commercially free LLMs can do it very similar or at a comparable rate to commercial counterparts as well. So I think these are very strong findings from this article. But basically, the way this helps is when there are, let's say, thousands of patients' data in an unstructured form, and the hospital, if I have to do it manually, the hospital or some person would have to go through each of these records, identify what this patient was suffering from, what stage of disease, all of this information. And then when a trial comes in, to match that trial with this record and see that if this patient will suit for this particular trial or not. All of this can be replaced if we do this through AI, where AI can understand which kind of patients are available in the database, in the system, and then based on the trial requirements, it can pick up the records which are relevant or which are matching to the trial requirements, and then based on that we can identify patients in a much faster way to take up ahead for clinical trials. So this is how EMR data extraction can be accelerated and used using AI. So this is one example. Next is how we can optimize study protocols, and this is where we can design study protocols or optimize the trial design, which I was talking about. So this was a prostate cancer program in phase 3 study that we optimized, where we used our trial prediction engine to analyze more than 827 prostate cancer trials, and we identified the most optimal features. So from these 800 or so trials, we know what are the usual inclusion exclusion criteria, what are the endpoints, what are operational features, how many sites are usually enrolled, how many investigators are involved, what is the duration of the trial. All of this information we know from these 800 trials, let's say. Now if I read up on all of these trials, I would be able to understand what is the range in which I should be designing my new trial, right? So rather than having to do that, we can have AI go through those 800 or more trials and also simulate on each of these parameters to come up with the right trial protocol. So I don't know if this is visible, but what is shown in through these graphs is that features can contribute in a positive or in a negative way to the final outcome, but you can simulate and find optimal ranges. So this is about how much should be the time frame, how in months should it be, 10 month, 20 month, 40 month of response time, how many number of sites should be involved. So based on that, we can make a prediction that okay, if we have 20 sites rather than 45, we have a better chance of the trial succeeding, because from those 800 trials, at least 600 of those had around 15 to 25 sites, right? So that is how this information can be utilized, and the model can learn which kind of trials succeed and which kind of trials don't succeed. So we have also labeled trials that have succeeded and that have not succeeded, so that model can learn about this information, that what is the usual range for how many patients should be enrolled for a trial, so that it has better chances of success. So using that, you can generate a complete protocol of what should be the most ideal protocol to conduct a clinical trial in. Okay, so this is another example for a pharma company that we did, and within 8 weeks we could provide them an improvised design from what they had, and based on that they started their clinical trial as well, doing this. The third is as I was talking about, how we can analyze historical data, more than 5 lakh trials that are in the clinical trial registry on US clinicaltrials.gov. What kind of insights can be generated, right? So maybe I'll also show you the platform that we have, to just give you an idea of how it works. So this is one of our products called OntoSite Terminal. It actually has a terminal for clinical trials, and this if I just search with a disease like Parkinson's disease, let's say, I can evaluate. Um, I can evaluate all of these different insights just based on the disease. So this is a snapshot of all the different trials. There are 2,233 trials in progress, 4,200 or so completed, percent-wise breakup. I can see sponsors, how many are industry sponsored, how many are hospitals and research institute sponsored. What is the enrollment status? So total estimated enrollment is 9.5 million. Actual enrollment is 7.62. So good number of patients are being enrolled. Different phase wise, how many were actually enrolled and how many were estimated to enroll, so you can get to see if there are any specific phases in which you see a lot less recruitment. And I think in phase 2 here you can see only 16% met its targets, whereas in other phases it's more. So you can draw out such kind of insights. You can look at all the different types of drugs that have been studied, so carbidopa and levodopa coming at the top here as expected. This is a geographical view of all the different countries and how many trials are conducted in each of those countries as well. Phase wise breakdown we can see, and also endpoints analytics. So in different phases of what are the different endpoints that are being measured. So as you can imagine, in phase 1 it's mostly safety. In phase 2 it's cognitive function, adverse events, as well. In phase 3 mainly severity of the disease, safety and tolerability also. So that way we can generate all of this insight just as at a click. We search with a disease, a drug, or anything specific, and we can get to look at the historical data. We can also filter this with different type with different registries if we want to. Japanese registry, Mexican, or any specific country registry. We have all the information that we have collected for this database here, and there are multiple different filters that we can play around. There is also a list view in which we can look at more detailed information for each of these trials, and the analytics view in which we see the graphs then. So this is an example of such kind of database where you can, again, this is using a lot of AI and engineering tools to compile this information, to bring this together in an analytical form which can be easily consumed and utilized for further evaluations. So coming back to my presentation here. Yeah, so this was again another example in which AI tools can be used. And lastly, as I was talking about predicting clinical trial success, so this is again something which we do where we use a lot of information from our digital universe. This is all the clinical trials. This is 800, more than 8 lakh trials, because we are also including trials from other registries apart from the US clinicaltrial.gov, investigators information, Congress articles, publications, thesis, patents. And then we have more than 300 parameters on which we evaluate each of these trials. And those parameters or groupings are listed here based on drug, the indication properties, the design of the study, investigators and sites, the history of the sponsor, patient selection criteria, inclusion exclusion criteria, what is the kind of evidence available in the literature, and then peripheral trial information. And based on this, we can predict probability of success as well as trial design. We have almost 85,000 trials for which we know the outcome. We know that these trials passed or these trials failed. And based on this labeling, we have trained a model. So it understands which kind of features are helpful for trials to succeed and which kind of features are not helpful. And based on this, it can do a prediction with more than 80% accuracy. So currently, we have a model which is about 81% accurate in terms of predicting if the trial would succeed or not. And this has been proven with the back testing. So we made predictions of trials which are about to end in the next 6 months or so. And so once those were completed, we checked with our predictions, and there were match of more than 80% of those trials as well. Just give you a slightly more details. These are all the different features of the 300 more features I was talking about on each of these parameters. And what we are able to basically predict from these trials is the most important parameters of success, like which is it the number of sites that is contributing to the trial being having high probability of success, or is the number of patient target too high that because of which it is likely to fail. We can answer such kind of questions. we can also know which investigators will improve success probability. So we can evaluate specific people who are involved in the trial, and we also have a separate analysis which can provide which investigators have a good history for which their trials have succeeded and which ones do not. Of course, it depends a lot on the drug as well on which the trial is being performed, and that is the main driver. But these are also peripheral factors which impact on trial success as well. So in those lines, we can predict, and we can also evaluate for the study sites, for enrollment time, for endpoints, as well as the kind of patient subgroups, the inclusion exclusion criteria, what kind of criteria should be used, and based on that we can do predictions as well. So these are all the different types of models and their accuracies. But yeah, we can go into more details if you have questions on that as well. So this is how AI is being used to predict on the outcome of clinical trial. For any ongoing clinical trial currently, we can do this prediction within a few seconds to know if this trial would succeed or not using this kind of a model. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, please, I'll be happy to
Thank
answer.
you very much, Dr. Agrawal, for this wonderful session. And it was really amazing. Like the students, the participants, everyone who is here got the real-time experiences of AI utilization in clinical trials. So I hope you guys got the real fizz out of this, session, guys. So let me open for your questions. Now you can type your questions and please ask your questions to Dr. Amit. And I will be taking some questions as AI clinical site, how to increase patient pool recruitment using AI.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of the challenge that is faced while increasing the pool is mostly being able to collect this information and store them in a format that it can be usable when a trial comes in, right? So data collection is where I think this AI can be useful, so that you don't have to actually go through all of these details to match the right patient with the right trial. So this is about how the data is collected and how this patient's information is stored. So if that is done correctly, I think that can really accelerate to increase your pool of patients as well. So of course you need to have the footfall of the patients as well, but that is how it can significantly impact.
Yeah, the people in YouTube also can write the questions, guys, if you are having the questions. Okay, so one question is here. Good evening, sir. Can we completely trust AI predicted data, or is there any requirements to cross-check?
No, definitely. I think no AI is as smart as humans till now. So we have to cross check it. But as we showed, like it is predicting with more than 80% accuracy. A student scoring more than 80% marks, I think we would be happy about that. So we should definitely be the same with AI as well. But I'm sure it will improve from here also. I think as we go by, this will continue to improve further.
Yes, I will combine two questions from Aisa and Shravani. What type of job roles available in the AI for pharmacy students right now, and what could be the starting salary, and what's the procedure to get into it?
Okay. So see, for pharmacy students, I think with respect to clinical research and with respect to all the different subjects that you study, you get really a good overview of all the different things that happen. Nothing in clinical trials is something which will be very new for you. You know about drugs, you know about the pharmacology, the mechanism, you know about the chemistry of the drug, how it was designed, how it was generated, and then about the setup of the trial. You also understand why, statistically, how certain things are to be measured, and all those the disease specific information as well. So in terms of AI is nothing but it's kind of an aid. It's a helpful tool for you to be able to do what you're doing better, right? So you have to treat it as a tool. Also, it's not to be looked up as a magic wand which will solve all the problems. It is your kind of a assistant which will answer the questions, and that answer will also depend on how smart the questions are. So you will have to try and get the right information using AI, and there are multiple tools to be able to do that. There are lots of courses which can help you do that. You can also read upon a lot of articles where they have used AI, some of them which I showed today. But like this, there is a lot of research and a lot of work happening in this area, and using that you can really set up yourself to be able to contribute to this field. Processes, jobs and all, I think these are based on, you can try to do some projects and some sort of assignments on your own as well, based on information publicly available, what can be available online, as well as on certain websites. You will get to see projects which can utilize data, clinical trial data, and use AI to make sense of it, or to generate specific information that can help you show some experience, or even if you are able to show as a fresher that you understand clinical trials and how they work, and what are the details involved, that could help you to get that first position in this kind of a role. The process remains very similar to most of the companies. You can continue checking their job boards, visit their websites, use LinkedIn to network as well, and then apply for those jobs and try to showcase your skills, how you can be relevant for that position, and that could usually help.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. The next question is from Swastik Sinha. Sir, you mentioned once there might be several terminologies for one disease. How come AI gonna detect it? I think he did not get it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so if you even go to ChatGPT today, and if you ask for if you give multiple names for the same disease, it is able to understand that. Now this is because ChatGPT and these kind of models, these are called as large language models. Now imagine somebody um, who has been asked to read up of all the books that are available on this earth, and that way it has all the information and the knowledge from that information. So that model basically understands all of this data, and based on that it is able to answer, and able to link that you are talking about the same disease when you're using different words. So this is the power of large language models. But before we had large language models, this whole field dependent on ontologies. So ontology is basically a directory of a term and its synonyms. So any word and what are the different ways in which the same word it can be called with, that is basically an ontology. And people use this kind of a limited set of information to train a model so that it can understand when I'm saying EGFR or epidermal growth factor receptor, it has to understand it is the same thing. That was done through ontologies. Now with LLMs, they already know all this information because it has come across this from multiple data that it has been trained on.
Yes. Serene is asking a question. What are the limitations of AI-driven patient recruitment? How can the bias in training data affect trials and trial outcomes by AI?
Okay, so how can, sorry, the first question was in
What
recruitment,
are the
how you can.
limitations of AI-driven patient recruitments?
Huh. So for patient recruitment, of course, AI would understand most of it, but you cannot expect AI to understand everything about a patient, right? So when you are recruiting patients, a lot of patients will have specific information with respect to, let's say, a comorbidity, or with respect to a particular severity of a disease. So these may not be specific aspects that the AI would be able to learn when it is trained on a specific kind of a problem statement, when it is trying to match a specific disease for patient recruitment, or specific trial for patient recruitment. So these could be some of the limitations. And then I forgot the next questions, I think.
Our next question was, how can the bias in training data affect trial outcomes in AI?
Right. Huh. So,
By
so,
AI.
so as I was showing, 85,000 trials that we use to train the model, right? If we had all 85,000, or let's say 60,000 trials are passing trials, are succeeding trials, and only 20,000 which are failed, that creates a bias because the model is learning more when the trials succeed rather than when the trials fail. So that it's important that your training data should be balanced. It should have equal number of succeeding trials as well as equal number of failed trials, so that it can learn equally. It is not biased towards one particular area. So this is an example of how some bias can be introduced.
Yeah, we'll take one or two more questions. Then we are
Mhm.
our next speaker is waiting. So next question is from Dr. Anjana. How can pharmacy knowledge contribute to the creation, management, and optimization of healthcare databases like you showed?
Definitely, it's a lot of help, because you would understand what is the meaning of, let's say, different stages of clinical trial. You would understand what is the meaning of the inclusion exclusion criteria, specific terminologies which have to be met, right? Patient recruitment requirements. You would also understand primary outcomes, secondary outcomes. You would understand the meaning of them as well. Without understanding these, it's not possible to build this kind of database. There is always a domain person involved here. And pharmacy people are the best because they have understanding of the drugs as well as the disease, as well as the clinical trial. So they have a holistic view of all the things, and that's why they are the most important people, I think.
Yes, yes, fantastic. And okay, so I think we'll not take technical questions, guys. Um, Kunal and many others have asked, sir, please share some AI tools names and some skills that are used, and we should study what could be beneficial for the students. We'll take this last question.
Sure. So, in terms of tools, see, I think you will have to, if you really want to learn AI or apply data science models, then you will have to learn something like a Python language.
Yes.
But if you are interested in that, I think as freshers, I think this is the right time you should get into that. Although I know with LLMs and a lot of other developments, learning Python is also not a requirement, but it will definitely help if you know Python. So learning a computer language would be helpful, so that you can build your own models, you can construct data in that form, and then and try out different things in that AI within the space as well. So it will also help you to understand what this field is about, and how people are utilizing. In fact, this combination of knowing technical skill like Python plus the biology and the pharmacy understanding will really give you a strong edge when you're looking for jobs as well.
Yes, so thank you, Dr. Amit, for the wonderful talk, and it was really insightful. And I hope the students got a lot of insights. So, with that, I would just like to, present that, guys. We also, run the similar as Dr. Amit has just, said what you have to learn and all. We have this diploma, 6-month skill development value-added diploma course in artificial intelligence and machine learning for clinical research and pharmaceutical industry. And that is, we have two courses in that. One is basic, one is advanced. And if you look into the syllabus, this is all Python for pharma, data manipulation, statistical analysis for pharma, machine learning basics, and then the capstone project. And then in the advanced, we have deep learning for pharma and NLP, and deep learning for pharma, again, GitHub collaborations, advanced AI project. So we have all this, and we are modifying every year because we run just 2 batches every year. For last 2 years, we are running it. So this year we are launching our 5th batch in June. So if you're interested, you can join us definitely. But along with that, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your questions, and thank you, Dr. Amit, for this wonderful session. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And guys, so we'll move on to the next session. Next session is by Dr. Nisa. Okay, so yeah. Next session is on the latest Indian clinical trial guidelines by Ms. Nisa Abdul Kader. So Ms. Nisa is working as the Research Associate 3 at MAHE ICMR Technical Resource Center for Evidence Synthesis at Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. She is a medical biochemist with a very strong academic and research credentials, currently serving as the told Research Associate 3 at TRC of Evidence Synthesis. So nearing completion of the doctoral research in nephrology, focused on community-based studies of chronic kidney disease progression. So she demonstrated the abilities to independently manage the research projects, collaborate within interdisciplinary teams, and adapt to evolving the scientific methodologies. So, she has a vast experience in, microbiology, biochemistry, and then in nephrology. So, with that, guys, I'll not delay it. I will, hand over the session to Ms. Nisa. Over to you, Ms. Nisa. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, everyone. I hope my video is visible.
Yes, it's absolutely
Yes,
visible.
and the audio is clear.
Yes, please go
Yes.
ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for such a wonderful introduction, sir. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you today about the updated Indian clinical trial guidelines. I shall be actually switching off my video if you don't mind, because
Please,
the
surely.
network is very feeble here because of the rain. I don't
Yes.
want this to hamper our session. Yes. Okay. So let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, Nisa, it is. Please just make it full screen. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Is
is.
it visible now? Okay.
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
So our objectives today are threefold. First, we will explore the key provisions of NDCTR 2019 and what makes it different from previous rules like Schedule Y. Second, we will examine the structure and expectations of ethics committees, a crucial pillar in clinical trial governance. Finally, we will understand the trial approval process right from application to inspections and post-trial responsibilities. So let me take you back to a British naval ship in the year 1747. Sailors were falling sick, their bodies weak, gums bleeding, and many dying, victims of mysterious disease we now call it as scurvy. On board was a young Scottish naval surgeon. He had a simple but revolutionary idea. What if we compared different treatments to see what actually worked? He took 12 sick sailors and gave each pair a different remedy: cider vinegar, seawater, even elixir of vitriol. But one lucky pair received 2 oranges and a lemon a day. Within 6 days, they were up and walking, while the others lay unchanged. The small experiment with just 12 sailors and 6 treatments became one of the first recorded clinical trials in history. And today, as we talk about the latest Indian guidelines for clinical research, we are building on that legacy, refining how we test, protect, and innovate, all to ensure that our science serves our people ethically and effectively. So, who is he? Can you all say that? Anyone, one from the audience? Can you do the guesswork, please?
Okay, let me open their chat box. Yes, guys, you can chat now. You can just guess.
Any guesses? Sorry, I'm not able to see my chat box. Okay. Absolutely. He is James Lind, and he is called as the father of clinical trials. And that was the first clinical trial, actually. And he was the first one to introduce control into experiment. Now, what is a clinical trial? So, imagine this. A scientist discovers a new drug that could potentially treat a serious illness. It's shown promise in... Hello?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Am I still there? Because I lost my Wi-Fi, I suppose.
No. You are. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, yeah. So this new drug, actually, it has shown promise in the lab, maybe even in animals. But here's a big question. Will it actually work in humans? And more importantly, is it safe? Okay. This is where clinical trials come in. A clinical trial is carefully designed research study that tests new medical approaches like drugs, treatments, or devices on people to see if they are safe, effective, and better than existing options. Think of it as the bridge between a scientific idea and a real world patient care. Without clinical trials, we would have no way of knowing if a new therapy saves lives or if a new vaccine protects us from a disease. But clinical trials aren't just about treatment. They can also test new ways to prevent illness, diagnose diseases earlier, or improve the QOL, that is the quality of life for people living with chronic conditions. So, why are they important? Because every medicine we use today, from antibiotics to cancer immunotherapy, exists because of clinical trials. They are the gold standard for finding out what works, what doesn't, and what needs to be improved. They turn hope into evidence and evidence into healthcare. And most importantly, they are done ethically, carefully, with strict guidelines to protect participants, ensuring science moves forward, but never at the cost of safety. So, when we talk about clinical trials, we are really talking about the future of medicine, one carefully tested step at a time. So, do you know this? Have you heard of NDCTR 2019? Hmm? Anyone?
Yes, guys, reply.
Yes? No? Okay. Can you name an international equivalent? And I think when you say that you don't know about it, maybe you don't know about how many chapters, schedules, forms it includes. Okay, don't worry. By the end of this talk, you will be confident in answering all of these. Okay? So, what is NDCTR 2019? The New Drugs and Clinical Trial Rules 2019 were notified by Government of India in the exercise of powers under Section 12(1) and Section 33(1) of Drugs and Cosmetic Acts 1940. Though formulated in 2018, these rules officially came into force on 19th March 2019. They were developed to streamline the approval process for new drugs and clinical trials while ensuring ethical and scientific standards. The most recent amendment to these rules was made through GSR 778E, dated 14th October 2022, reflecting ongoing efforts to update and refine regulatory practices. The rules were issued by Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO, which is the national regulatory authority responsible for drug safety and efficacy in India. These rules apply comprehensively to new drugs, investigational new drugs for human use, clinical trials, bioequivalence studies, bioavailability studies, and ethics committees. By defining the responsibility of sponsors, investigators, and ethics committees, the rules aim to protect the rights and safety of trial participants while also promoting faster access to innovative treatment. Now, key term, that is academic clinical trial. What is this? Okay. One important classification under these rules is academic clinical trial. This refers to trials initiated by academic researchers or institution using an already approved drug for a different indication, dose, or route. For example, testing metformin, traditionally used for diabetes for its anti-cancer properties. Okay, it is usually by the principle of apoptosis. Because of that, what happens is the cancer cell dies. Okay, and this is done purely for academic research. There is no commercial gain in this. This trial would not require approval from the Central Licensing Authority if it is strictly for academic purpose.
वो feedback form दे दूंगा.
I think there is some disturbance. Okay.
मैं तो अभी उसलिए मेरा
Please go ahead, Dr. Nisa. And I think it was a glitch. Yeah, please go ahead. Hello. Nisa, you have to open your mic. Nisha, unmute yourself, please.
Now am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I was here.
Yes.
Authority and officers. Okay. The Central Licensing Authority, or CLA, is essentially the Drugs Controller General of India, that is DCGI, operating under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It has the authority to approve clinical trials, inspect facilities, and ensure adherence to NDCTR provisions, assistant drugs controller support in execution and monitoring. Now, coming up to Independence Ethics Committee. The composition ethics committee for clinical trial BioE and BioA studies. So ethics committee play a crucial role in safeguarding participants' rights and well-being. NDCTR 2019 mandates that an EC should have at least 7 members, including a layperson, a woman, a legal expert, and an independent member from fields like ethics, philosophy, or social work. At least 50% of the members must be unaffiliated with the host institution, ensuring unbiased oversight. The roles and conflicts of this: every clinical trial must be approved by a registered ethics committee. Importantly, members with a conflict of interest, say by a co-investigator or financially linked to the sponsor, must step away from the review process. Their recusal must be documented transparently in meeting minutes. This is a critical part of ensuring ethical impartiality. Next is ethics committee record keeping. Ethics committee are also responsible for meticulous documentation. They must maintain records of protocols, case report forms, SAEs, compensation recommendations, and all approval or rejection. Renewal of EC registration must be done via Form CT01. These records can be audited by regulatory authorities at any time. Okay. So, conducting clinical trials. No clinical trial can begin without a dual approval, without dual approvals. First, from the Central Licensing Authority using Form CTs Not 4, and second from the Registered Ethics Committee. Each trial site must be overseen by its own EC. The process ensures that each study meets scientific and ethical standards before touching even single patient. Next is the bioavailability and bioequivalence centers. For bioavailability and bioequivalence studies, which are essential in generic drug approval, NDCTR mandates pre-inspection of study centers. Application for such studies are made via Form CT16, and if approved, permission is granted using Form CT17. These inspections ensure that centers have the infrastructure and capability to conduct trials safely and scientifically. Next, about trial inspection and suspension. The CLA reserves the right to inspect trial sites using Form CT06 and CT4A. If any violation of safety protocols or ethics are found, they can suspend or cancel the trial license. Okay. This regulatory power acts as a deterrent to malpractice and ensures continued adherence to guidelines throughout the study. So there was a transition from Schedule Y, right? NDCTR 2019 completely overrides Part 10A and Schedule Y of the Drugs and Cosmetics rules for human use. In other words, Schedule Y is no longer applicable to new drug trials in India. NDCTR is now the standard. This streamlining has brought Indian regulatory mechanisms closer to global standards and is especially beneficial for international collaboration. So let me explain this a little bit. Earlier, as I told, clinical trials in India were regulated by Schedule Y under the Drugs of Cosmetic Rules, right, 1945. However, as the clinical research landscape became more complex and globally integrated, Schedule Y was found to be outdated and lacking in clarity, especially regarding timelines, ethics, and transparency. To address these gaps, the government of India introduced the new drug and clinical trial rules. Okay, that is of 2019. This marked a significant shift, bringing in streamlined approval process, clearer roles for ethics committees, provision for compensation, and timelines for regulatory decisions. The new rule are aligned more closely with global standards, ensuring better protection for participants and encouraging quality research in India. Okay. And next thing, wait a minute. Okay. I told you that, the guidelines is updated via GSR 778E. Okay, New Drugs and Clinical Trials, that is Third Amendment 2022. Okay, has a part of India's ongoing reforms to modernize its regulatory framework for clinical trials. This was actually issued. This amendment to New Drugs and Clinical Trial Rules 2019 reflects a strategic push towards greater transparency, efficiency, and the global alignment in drug regulation. What are the key highlights of these? Okay, first one is deemed approval for ethics committees. If the Central Licensing Authority, that is CLA, does not respond within 45 working days to an application for registering an ethics committee for clinical trials or that is bioavailability or bioequivalence studies, the registration is deemed granted. Okay. Next one is deemed approval for manufacturing permissions. If the CLA fails to communicate a decision within 90 working days on an application to manufacture new or investigational drugs for clinical use or analysis, the permission is deemed granted. And also, the third one is QR code or barcode mandate. A key aspect of the amendments is the introduction of QR codes or barcodes on the labels of top 300 brands of drugs as identified by national list of essential medicines. Okay, and yeah, so what is the significance? So the significance of this is accelerated timelines, reduces delays in initiating trials and manufacturing, enhanced regulatory accountability, it enforces clear response deadlines, and improved drug safety and traceability. Barcoding supports digital tracking of drug products from production to end use. And then is global best practices. It aligns India's regulations more closely with international norms. Where science meets ethics, progress is born. Thank you to the guardians of clinical trial guidelines for paving the path to safer, smarter healthcare in India. I'm open for questions now. Sir,
Hello. Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Nisa. Thank you for the wonderful session. And
Thank you, sir.
guys, do you have any questions? I have shared the feedback form. So whoever wishes to, fill the feedback form, they can fill, and we are going to share the names of the winners anyways right now. Okay, so please go ahead with the feedback form as well. Anyone has any question, please write in the chat box? Anyone? Thank you, Nisa, very much for this wonderful session and insightful session on the latest guidelines. And I think this session was very much enlightening because we were talking about AI for last, 1.5, 2 hours, and it was much needed to know about the guidelines as well. And that's how we are completing today's event on the, International Clinical Trial Day. We have, wonderfully successfully done with the with this event. So guys, thank you very much, and thank you all. I would like to thank everyone, and I think we have Dr. Karisma Rathi with us for the vote of thanks. So I would like to invite her for the vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Karisma Rathi.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Well said by Dr. Albert Sand. Good evening, everyone. As we drawn the curtain on today's meaningful celebration of International Clinical Trial Day 2025, I, Dr. Karishma Rathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacy Practice, Dr. D.Y. Patil, Gyan Prasad University, School of Pharmacy and Research, Pune. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of CliMed Research Solution India and Dr. D.Y. Patil, Gyan Prasad University, School of Pharmacy and Research, Pune. A special word of thanks to our esteemed inaugural speaker, Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput, Senior Vice President, Cadila Pharmaceutical, author of The Leaders with Ladders, Corporate Board Director, Pharma Business Leader, Academic Advisor, and Global Leadership Coach for his inspiring address. Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Principal and Director, Dr. D.Y. Patil, Gyan Prasad University, School of Pharmacy and Research, Pune, for his unwavering
I think Dr. Karisma we lost due to some technical problems. So guys, by the time she joins back, let me announce the today's results. Like the quiz yesterday, we have conducted. There were almost 2,000 plus registrations, but 700 plus participants joined live and attempted for the quiz, and we are sharing the results of. We are sharing the results of 695 people here. Here are the top 10 participants who got 49 of 50. Actually there are many who received 49. Actually 26 people received 49 out of 50, but due to the timelines and everything, we got our 10 top winners in that. Ans Goyal, Falguni, Vogu Soumya, Sumit Ramesh, Sukhbir Singh Tambar, and Dhanadevan KS, Nivedita Pandey, Pragati Nehru, and Kunal Singh Jadon. So I congratulate everyone, and I congratulate actually every participant who participated in this, and reserved wonderful marks, and showed the wonderful knowledge of the clinical research on this in this quiz on the occasion of International Clinical Trial Day, guys. And along with that, I would like to announce to all of you that the people, I will be sharing these results in the groups also. So the first people in the yellow will get 20% discounts on our courses, and the people up to 100 rank, up to rank 100 will get 10% of the discount, and after that they will get the certificate of the participant till the 50% of the marks, like 25 out of 50. So I will be sharing the detailed version in the groups of this. But I again congratulate our 10 toppers. Ans Goyal again, Falguni, Gusoumya, Sumit Ramesh, Sukhbir Singh Tambar, and Dhandevan, Nivedita, Pragiti, Kunal. Right, guys? So congratulations, everyone. And now over to Dr. Karisma. I think she has joined back.
Yes, sir. Now am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Director, Dr. D.Y. Patil, Nyan Prasad University, School of Pharmacy and Research, Pune, for his unwavering guidance and motivation. Dr. Ajit Singh, Founder and CEO of CliMed and Curio, Research Scientist, ICMR, Department of Medicine, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, for his vision and thoughtful leadership. Our sincere appreciation goes to Dr. Hit Sharma, Medical Director, Medical Affairs, Climate Research and Pharmacovigilance at
I think your voice is disturbing, Dr. Karisma, I believe. Okay, guys, I think I would like to thank everyone of you whoever have joined this wonderful event and made this a very successful event, guys. I hope you all have filled the feedback form. We have shared later. You should not come to me like, sir, we did not fill the feedback form. So please fill the feedback form now. Everyone who is in the meeting, who is listening to me, please fill the feedback form. I have shared here and I have shared even in the YouTube. Okay, and these PDFs I will be sharing in the groups. So I would like to thank our partner, D.Y. Patil, School of Pharmacy, D.Y. Patil the University, School of Pharmacy, Pimpri, Pune, for the very much support and conducting this event. And then I would like to thank Dr. Sohan Chitlange for the unwavering support. I would like to thank Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput, our board director, Dr. Hit Sharma sir for the wonderful talk, and then Dr. Amit Agrawal and Nisa for these wonderful sessions and delivering the best content and making this event successful. So I will not take much time because it's already 9 guys, post 9. So have a good dinner, have a good night, take care, and thank you very much. Your certificates will be delivered by Friday. Okay, everyone, listen to me carefully. Friday, your certificates will be delivered by Friday night and your results will be shared in the groups right away. Okay, take care and have a good night. Thank you very much for joining us for this event, guys. Thank you. Take care, guys. Please fill the feedback form. Please fill the feedback form, everyone. Okay, there are 2 minutes. You fill the feedback form.